We all know the Nespresso ads with George Clooney. What else? Well, you want to know what else? 500 kilos of South American export. In May 2022, coffee beans from Brazil arrived in Switzerland in sealed containers in a Nespresso warehouse. Officially, Nespresso wasn't involved. Employees spotted white powder and called police. It was high purity product worth tens of millions. And the weapon used wasn't a gun. What if I told you the most powerful tools in modern crime aren't weapons? It's a plain metal box. The same box that makes your phone affordable, keeps supermarkets stocked, makes globalization feel normal, and why illegal goods can cross borders hiding inside the noise of global trade. Because the darkest side of the game wears a suit, looks respectable, and stays legal on paper. Modern crime isn't movie chases. It's invoices, schedules, and freight. Before containers, shipping was chaos. Break bulk cargo, sacks, barrels, crates, loaded by hand. Every port stop meant touching everything again. Unload, count, restack, and hope nothing broke or vanished. It was slow, expensive, risky. And theft wasn't a side problem. It was baked into the system. The ocean wasn't the expensive part. The port was. Ships sat still while humans moved mountains of cargo piece by piece. Then one man got obsessed with one question. Why can't we move the whole load at once? Malcolm McLean wasn't a sailor. He was a trucker. And that was his advantage. He understood wasted time, wasted labor, wasted money. And one brutal truth: if you can remove steps and standardize everything, damage drops, theft almost disappears, and most importantly, costs collapse. So he bets everything on a sealed, standardized box, and against all odds, he turns that into the global shipping standard. But this isn't a story about Malcolm McLean the man. It's a story about what his idea made possible. The version of global trade we live in now. Because the container isn't just a box. It's a worldwide agreement. Ports, cranes, trucks, warehouses. One system. And that's where the story gets dark. Because the container didn't just standardize trade, it standardized concealment. Around 500 million containers move around the world every year, carrying close to 90% of global trade, and less than 2% are physically inspected. And if you watched my previous video, you already know how helpful that can be for some shady companies. I mean, imagine, one container in 50 gets inspected. Everything else, it just flows. That means the system runs on speed, not curiosity. You can't check everything without breaking the economy. And the Nespresso case proves it. When the priority is keeping global trade moving, coffee, vehicles, food, profit will always outrun inspections. One suspicious container can't compete with millions that have to flow, or shelves go empty and factories stop. That's how you end up in a world where one of the largest companies on earth accidentally warehouses 1/2 ton of pure South American flour. Most boxes aren't opened, not because people don't care, but because the world is built to keep the line moving. And that's the loophole. If your illegal good is hiding inside something the economy depends on, then the question isn't how did it get through, it's how could we ever check enough to stop it. So if you're law enforcement, you're not searching containers. You're gambling with probability. And if a person, a company, a nation, or a criminal organization is looking to move illegal goods, that box becomes the perfect camouflage. Sealed, stackable, anonymous. Think about it like this. Airports can scan most suitcases because a plane carries only a few hundred passengers and their luggage. A mega ship can carry thousands of containers, and thousands of pieces of luggage could fit inside a single container. Trying to check every box would be like searching an entire city every day, without slowing anything down. And the global economy can't afford slow, so the container becomes a black square in the supply chain, passed from ship to truck to train, without anyone wanting to open it unless they absolutely have to. That's why containers don't just move TVs and sneakers. They get exploited for drugs, weapons, counterfeit goods, illegal wildlife, and sanctions-busting commodities. Because the same highway that moves legal trade also moves the shadow economy. Smuggling doesn't need a new system. It just hijacks the existing one. Because global trade isn't just ports, boats and water. Global trade is people. And people can be pressured, bribed, scared, or simply greedy. This is where you hear terms like dockers mafia. Not because dock workers are criminals, but because entities looking to move illegal merchandise only need one insider at one gate, one shift, one container that gets treated differently. Actors of this game build corruption networks inside ports, corrupting personnel so they can access port systems and procedures. And it gets worse. See, corruption isn't always a service you buy. Corrupted people can end up embedded inside the network itself. That's how it scales. Same logic as containers, standardized, repeatable, expandable. So the battle isn't only at sea, it's in the port offices, the terminals, the parking lots, the moment the box touches land. And that's why the ports are more than trade hubs. They're high-value targets. In 2023, Belgian customs alone seized a record 116 tons of Colombian powder in the port of Antwerp. That's not a local problem. That's industrial volume. And it inevitably fuels various forms of violence around ports worldwide. Because when billions are on the line, intimidation becomes a business expense. And seizures are what we see. They're the visible tip of a supply chain designed to be invisible, and people adapt. When enforcement tightens in one port, they pivot to another. Smaller ports, different routes, new choke points, same box, same ocean, same game. So, who uses this system? Everyone. Italian mafia, enterprises, regular people, South American cartels, Asian networks. The container is the perfect tool for the entire world. It's standardized, sealed, stackable, and it moves inside a system built for speed. And here's the uncomfortable part. Legality isn't fixed. The exact same product can be illegal in one country, shipped somewhere else, relabeled, and suddenly it's legal. Does that make everyone who exploits that an organized crime mafia? Not automatically. The real difference isn't what you move, it's how you move it. Your status, your paperwork, your structure, your protection. Because containers don't care about morals. They carry everything. Essential or pointless. Legal or illegal. Clean or dirty. And they all travel the same way. It's not one company, government or cartel controlling everything. It's a marketplace. One group supplies, another transports, another corrupts, another launders, another distributes, and some even do the whole package. Standard size, standard handling, standard cover story. It's business. Containers are the backbone of everyone's supply chain. Companies, gangsters, multinationals, entire governments, and even you. They move the essentials. Oil, gas, energy equipment, raw materials. And they can also move the non-essentials. A fake designer bag, counterfeit electronics, anything. That's the real point. The container system is so efficient, so universal, and so massive. It doesn't belong to good or bad actors. It belongs to whoever needs to move something. Fast, cheap, and unseen in a steel box. Because ports are the modern border. And every border has two sides, the official side and the side that gets bought. The container made the world cheaper, faster and richer, but also more opaque, more exploitable, and more fragile. So next time you see a container on a train, on a truck, stacked at a port, don't just see a metal box. See a system that feeds your life, and also the darkest markets on earth. If you want more stories about the systems behind money, power, and crime, subscribe.